The air was thick with the scent of burnt sugar and rust when the carnival rolled into Willow Creek. No one saw it arrive. One moment, the old wheat field at the edge of town was empty, its brittle stalk swaying under a bruised October sky. The next, a jagged silhouette of tents and twisted spires clawed its way into existence, as if the earth had vomited it up whole. The lights flickered, reds and yellows pulsing like dying stars, and a warped calliope tune drifted through the streets, beckoning. They called it the Crimson Revelry. No flyers announced it, no radio ads buzzed with its name, yet everyone in town knew it by morning. Kids whispered about it at school, their eyes wide with greedy wonder. Adults felt it too, a tug, deep in their bones, urging them toward the field. It was the kind of pull you couldn't shake, like a splinter lodged too deep to dig out. Maggie Harper was the first to go. She was 16, all sharp edges and restless energy, the kind of girl who'd sneak out just to feel the night on her skin. She told her little brother, Sam, she'd be back by midnight. She lied. When Sam woke up the next morning, her bed was empty, the window cracked open, and a faint trace of that calliope tune lingered in the air like a taunt. The town searched for her. Sheriff Dawes combed the field, but the carnival was gone, no tents, no lights, just flattened wheat and a faint scorch mark where the Ferris wheel had stood. People whispered about runaways, about Maggie's wild streak, but Sam swore he'd seen her shadow slip toward the field, her silhouette swallowed by a red glow that shouldn't have been there. A week later, it happened again. The carnival reappeared, this time in the parking lot of the abandoned mill on Route 9. The lights pulsed brighter, the music louder, and the pull stronger. Families went missing that night, whole households, from the Thompsons with their twin girls to old Widow Crane, who hadn't left her porch in years. By dawn, the lot was empty again, the asphalt cracked and steaming as if something had clawed its way back into the ground. Sam started digging. He pored over library books, old newspapers, anything that might explain it. He found scraps, stories from decades past, townsfolk vanishing when strange carnivals appeared. One account, scribbled in a 1923 journal, called it the Devil's Midway, a traveling abyss that fed on the living. The writer claimed it wasn't random, it chose places heavy with despair, places where people secretly longed for an escape. Willow Creek, with its shuttered factory and broken dreams, was ripe for the taking. By the time the carnival returned, Sam was ready. It materialized in the town square this time, its tents unfurling like spider legs, the air humming with that cursed melody. He saw them, figures moving among the rides, their faces familiar yet wrong. Maggie was there, her eyes black as tar, her smile too wide, operating a carousel that spun backward. The Thompsons stood at the ticket booth, their skin pale and peeling, beckoning with skeletal hands. Widow Crane perched atop the funhouse, cackling as her voice echoed in tongues no one should know. Sam didn't run. He stepped forward, clutching a kitchen knife and a prayer he barely believed in. The midway stretched before him, endless and shifting, booths of warped mirrors, games rigged with bones, a big top that pulsed like a beating heart. The air grew hot, thick with the stench of brimstone and candy floss. A voice slithered from the shadows, low and guttural, "Stay. Play. Belong." He saw the truth then. The Crimson Revelry didn't just take people, it kept them, twisting them into something eternal, something wrong. Maggie reached for him, her fingers cold and clawed, whispering his name. He slashed at her, tears blurring his vision, and ran for the heart of it, the big top. Inside, the ringmaster waited. It was no man, its face was a mask of shifting flesh, its body a tangle of limbs that didn't fit together. "You can't leave," it hissed, its voice a chorus of screams. "No one does." The tent walls rippled, revealing rows of faces, hundreds, thousands, trapped in the fabric, their mouths moving silently. Sam drove the knife into the thing's chest. Black ichor sprayed, and the carnival shrieked, a sound that split the sky. The ground buckled, the tents collapsed, and the lights exploded in a rain of sparks. He ran, lungs burning, as the midway folded in on itself, sinking into a pit that swallowed everything. When dawn broke, the square was empty, the town silent. Sam told himself he'd won, that he'd ended it. But at night, he still hears the calliope, faint and persistent, calling him back. And sometimes, in the corner of his eye, he sees Maggie's shadow waiting. The crimson revelry is gone from Willow Creek. For now. But somewhere, in another broken town, the lights are flickering again.